Prior to starting the meeting, I want to read the open meeting law. Pursuant to the open meeting law, any person may make an audio or video recording of this public meeting or may transmit the meeting through any medium. Attendees are therefore advised that such recordings or transmissions are being made whether perceived or unperceived by those present and are deemed acknowledged and permissible. Prior to the meeting, can we do roll call, please, Madam Secretary?
Helen Rigo,
Here.
Natalie Mello,
Here.
Sergeant Dolan,
Yes, here.
and Officer Friars. Which I said it wrong again.
Faris, like Paris.
Present.
I
Okay,
quit.
all members are present. First item on the agenda is citizen input. Is anybody here for something that is not on the agenda, just that wanted to voice a concern in the city? Okay, nobody's here for citizen input. Next on the agenda is the approval of the meeting minutes from the October 20th meeting. It's in the packet we just got.
Motion to approve.
Helen makes a motion to approve. I'll second that motion. So we're approving the meeting minutes from the last meeting on October 20th of 2021. Madam Secretary, actually, can you do roll call on that?
Yep. Approval for the October minutes, Helen,
Yes.
Natalie,
Yes.
Sergeant Dolan,
Yes.
and Tom.
Yes.
Okay, the minutes for the October Traffic Board meeting have been approved. Next on the agenda is the curb cut application. And the first address for a curb cut request is for 1311 County Street in Fall River.
Which street, please?
1311 County Street. Are you here for that, ma'am? Let me see, wide to match. All right, it looks like it's a house where you have a wide driveway and you're just looking to make the curb match the length of the driveway?
Correct.
Or the width of the driveway?
Yes.
All right, I went by there,
I have pictures if you'd like.
you may not have to do that.
Okay.
The neighbors don't park in front of that house on that side of the street anyway. Widening the driveway opening just allows them to put more cars in the driveway. In my estimation, it has no negative impact on the neighbors, so I have a motion to approve that request for the curb cut.
Second motion.
Officer Farris seconds it. Anyone opposed to approving that curb cut request for 1311 County Street? Okay, Madam Clerk, can you do roll call, please?
Motion to approve 1311 County Street, Helen,
Yes.
Natalie,
Yes.
Sergeant Dolan,
Yes.
and Tom.
Yes.
Okay, you're all set. It's been approved. No
thank
pictures necessary.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Okay, the next curb cut request is for 1040 Eastern Avenue. People Incorporated. All right. They're asking for, actually, I might want to read this opening. Because it's on the McGowan Street side. The existing opening is 26 feet. They'd like to remove 16 more feet to make it a total of 42 feet. And then the narrative here, it says there is an existing 26-foot driveway on the Eastern Avenue side. The business is requesting removal of another 16 feet on the McGowan Street side for a total of 42 feet. So vans can enter from Eastern Avenue and exit on McGowan Street. The consulting city engineer has no objections to this request. So I checked that location, and I saw no neighbors parked there. It's on the business side, similar to the last month's application for the auto dealer there on Globe Street.
Motion to approve.
Okay, Helen makes a motion to approve. I second that motion. Is anyone opposed to approving the opening?
Sergeant Dolan, that's not going to affect other, because that's a lot. It's not going to affect a lot of
It's
other.
16 feet on the McGowan Street side, but where it is, there aren't houses there. The People Incorporated building is there. It's on the northwest corner at McGowan and Eastern Avenue.
Have the other peoples have been notified, haven't they?
Not yet, so this is the first step.
Okay.
So what happens now is these applications will
Yes.
go down to city council. They're gonna mail out letters to the abutters, and then they can come to council
Okay.
and either oppose it or just not.
Well, I approved it anyway.
You know, this is just the first step.
All right, it's been,
Been approved. I approved it.
and I second it. Is anyone opposed to that? Madam Clerk, can you do roll call, please?
Helen,
Yes.
Natalie,
Yes.
Sergeant Dolan,
Yes?
Tom.
Yes.
Okay, that curb cut at 1311, I'm sorry, at 1040 Eastern Avenue has been approved. Last curb cut request is for 457 Locust Street. Gentleman's here. Okay, I'll just read the narrative again. The existing driveway is 11.9 feet, and the resident is requesting the removal of another 8.7 feet to the east of the existing opening for a total of 20.6 feet. There is room to take 3 cars off the street. They also need the opening larger to back cars out onto Locust Street. The consulting city engineer has no objection to this request. Again, I went by this location. It's exactly like the woman that was here for County Street. The driveway's already that wide. The curbing is just not cut to match it. It will have no negative impact on the abutting neighbors parked there, so I make a motion that we approve this request.
Perfect. Thank you.
I'm making the motion. Anyone care to second it? Natalie seconds it. Is anyone opposed to opening this curb? Madam Clerk, can you do roll call, please?
Helen,
Yes.
Natalie,
Yes.
Sergeant Dolan.
Yes.
And Tom.
Yes.
Okay, now it's been approved officially, sir.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Next on the agenda, we have 2 handicap parking requests. The first is for 354 Sunset Hill. Gentleman over there in the back. You can stay in your seat,
You can stay,
sir.
you can stay there.
Sir, is this for the Bowen Street?
Yeah,
Basically in the middle of Bowen Street, correct?
yeah.
I wasn't sure if it was gonna be Charles or Dolan.
No, he's right in the middle, at the top, So, yeah, it's like those house-looking parts
So
on the
it's
top.
Bowen Street then.
Yep. And there's room in front of the house, in front of the apartment. I make a motion that we approve it. There's no off-street parking for it as well.
Motion to approve.
Okay, I made the motion to approve. Natalie second. Anyone opposed to approving it? Madam Clerk, can you do roll call, please?
Helen,
Yes.
Natalie,
Yes.
Sergeant Dolan.
Yes.
And Tom.
Yes.
Okay, it's being approved. Now, for the other handicap application as well, once the signs are in, you just have to know that it's not your particular handicap spot. If one of your neighbors has a handicapped relative visiting them or something like that. Oh, he doesn't speak English?
Let's begin.
All right, well, you can translate it for him.
Spanish.
Spanish.
Oh,
Yeah.
Spanish.
You know what? Call traffic tomorrow,
Okay,
and then we'll explain to you about what Sergeant Dolan wanted to say, and then I'll explain to you my part of when we're gonna go mark and how long the signs will take to go up.
okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Okay, but it's been approved. You're all set, sir.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Next one is 553 Center Street.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you can stay right there, sir.
Thank you.
I went by there too. There is no off-street parking at all available. It's a tight neighborhood to park in. All the paperwork was in order. I make a motion that we approve 553 Center Street.
Does she drive?
I'm sorry?
Does she drive? Because it's a Maria.
Oh, you're looking at more than I am. I just looked at the agenda.
Yeah, Maria Pereira, right?
Yeah, who's Paul?
It's my son. Maria Pereira is my wife,
Okay,
and this is under her name.
okay.
Driver, he's here representing her.
Right, because she couldn't make it today. Now, does your wife drive?
Not right now because she's ill.
She's a licensed driver, correct, sir?
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
Her
okay.
her
Yeah,
driver's
there's a
license.
license right here.
Yep. Yeah, that's why we need to get these beforehand, though, so I
Yeah.
can read the narrative.
Okay.
But, again, the paperwork's in order. She's a licensed driver, she's asking for the handicap parking sign in front of her house. So again, I make a motion to approve the handicap parking space in front of 553 Center Street.
I think he needs to be aware of the rules.
Yeah, I can explain that to him in English. But all right, so I made the motion to approve it.
I need
Second.
a second.
I'll second it.
All right, Helen seconds it. Is anyone opposed to it? Can you do roll call, please?
Helen,
Oh, yes.
Natalie,
Yes.
Sergeant Dolan.
Yes?
Tom.
Yes.
Okay, it's being approved. But you speak English, sir, so I can explain this to you in English.
Yes, please.
All right.
Thank you.
So eventually you'll have the handicap spot in front of the house. If one of your neighbors has a visitor that has a proper handicap placard and they happen to park in that spot, that's perfectly legal. Sometimes we get a call where there's a car in my spot. It's like a loophole in the law. They're allowed to park there as long as they have a proper handicap placard. It's very rare that it happens, especially in your neighborhood. You don't have restaurants there, but on occasion, someone may park there. If they have a proper placard hanging from their mirror, it's not a matter that we're gonna tag the car for. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay, she's gonna explain the time frame to you for having the sign actually put up, though.
So basically what's gonna happen is sometime next week, you're gonna see the maintenance crew there and mark the
Same.
spot. That's so that we can get the measurements. It goes down to city council
Bring it
for
up to
approval. It could take
That's what
anywhere
I'm
between
saying.
6 to 8 weeks, but because it's the end of the year and it's the holidays,
Does he have a handicap
it might go
pocket?
into January, okay?
Okay?
All right, sir, you're all set, thank you.
Have a good night.
You too. Okay, under miscellaneous requests, we have residents from Reed Street that wish to speak about turning it into a one-way.
Well, we tabled it from 2 months ago. I mailed a letter to all the residents on Reed, including the 2 corner houses at
Yep.
Pierce and President Avenue, to come to the meeting so that we could discuss what you had reviewed. And Fire department is fine with it, and police department is fine with it as
Okay.
well.
Hello,
Hi.
I'm Paula Cullen from 214 Reed Street.
And I'm Rita Champagne from 816 Pierce Street, the corner of Reed and Pierce.
All right.
And we're here today to ask that it remain as a two-way. I live directly across from the school, and I noticed when the school is out, it's almost just an inconvenience, about 10 minutes where it clears so quickly, 10 to 15 minutes the most, that there's a big problem with the cars trying to go in and out. Some problems that I view is that there are driveways, and unfortunately, the parents are parked illegally, and then those are the access points where people could try to swerve into a parking, in the driveway so that a car can come. But when they park illegal, then you don't have those access points for the traffic to flow. A concern that we have is if you make it a one-way, then the cars will still be parked on both sides, and it would still have the same problem of, you can go one way, but it's still congested. And if people are going on President Avenue and they see that the light is red, then they'll go down on Reed Street quite quickly, because now that's a one-way. That would be a problem, where they would be speeding by quickly so they can avoid the light on President Avenue. Is there anything else?
Our notes actually, we didn't talk, but they mimic each other. I think anybody who lives in a school district, we've modified our come and goes to get around that, so we know when to leave the house and when not to leave the house. I think Stetson Street by far is a bigger concern than Reed Street, but and I agree with, by making it a one-way, you're gonna have that left turn onto Reed Street, which is only gonna congest Pierce and Robeson Street even more, which already is chaotic at all different times. What the better solution, because again, as she said, when you have one way, you still have parking on both sides, is to either partially or totally eliminate the parking on the east side, which is the school side. The school really isn't our biggest problem in that area. Our biggest problem is when Truesdale expanded. We have mostly workers there on Reed Street and President Avenue. So I think you have to consider either a partial elimination from President Avenue beyond the gate on the east side, which is the school side, or a total no parking on the east side. We don't have problems at nighttime.
Yeah,
You
that
know,
would be just,
I brought our trash out last night and I counted 4 cars up there. 4. I just got this letter yesterday, but there's not an abundance of cars after a certain time. After most of the workers are gone from Truesdale, our area thins right out.
yeah, there are basically no cars really, because everyone has a driveway.
So do you agree to leave it the way it is?
I agree to leave it the way it is. And if something needs to be done, the east side parking from President Avenue to either partial
Or to Pierce.
or to Pierce needs to be eliminated.
Now-
I too come down going,
You would be very negatively affected because you could never get into your driveway from Pierce Street. You'd actually have to drive all the way around.
exactly,
Right, you have to
being on the
President
corner,
Avenue.
exactly, exactly.
Okay.
I mean, I travel President Avenue going east to turn, and you either have to honk your horn a little bit, or you have to like look to see. But that's because it's a narrow street
Right.
and parking so close to the corner.
Okay.
Even the suggestion that she made with no parking, it could be a simple thing of no parking between,
you
during the
go.
school time, 8 to,
Right. That's a
good idea.
2:30 or 3 o'clock. It wouldn't have to be the whole time, and just the school year. Because like she says, when the school's not in session, it's basically a few workers from Truesdale Clinic, and our street is basically empty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why there's never that concern about the flow of the traffic, unless school is in session.
Yeah.
All right. Were you here for Reed Street as well, ma'am?
I am actually here for a driveway that they want to make on McGowan Street. I never got a letter in the mail, but I happened to see somebody measuring on McGowan Street for something, and my neighbor across the street, which he parks there, asked the guy what was he doing, and he said, "I'm measuring for a curb for People Incorporated."
All right,
I
hold on.
think, yeah.
Oh,
I-
that's what we just,
Yeah, I think I spoke to you, and
Yeah.
I said that here, we don't deny it. What
Right, can we-
happens is.
let's approach that after we deal with this one. then.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right, so, based on your input, there's nobody here positive on making it a one-way, including the person that wrote the letter in the first place.
Now, does that person live on Reed
Well, they
Street?
wrote their address on it. It's 901 President Avenue, which I'm guessing, similar to you, they must be the house at President Avenue and Reed Street.
Oh,
I think they're at the, not exactly in that corner, because the ones that live in that corner, they were in agreement, well, they weren't able to come either, and especially our neighbors too, they had a death in the family, but it was the other house over, second over from the one you're referring to. I
Okay,
think
but
that,
you sent the letter.
I mailed out the letters on Wednesday, but.
Yeah, we just
with
received
mail-
ours this week,
Mail
yeah.
is really, yeah. So I sent them out the day before Veterans Day. But I sent them out to the gentleman that requested it and all the residents from.
yeah, the next door neighbor, she did receive it, she said they had a death in the family.
Yeah,
She
they're all
wasn't able
neighbors.
to-
I think they'd get the same mail on
Yeah.
the same day.
Yeah.
Okay. If we table this until next month's meeting, it doesn't change anything, which is actually what these neighbors want. You don't have to come to next month's meeting. So that we can discuss leaving it alone or making it a one-way against these neighbors' requests, or looking into the no parking on the east side of Reed Street. So why don't we table this one more time to the December meeting so that we can brainstorm and see if we have to do anything here, change the parking or make it one-way, which I'm not inclined to do.
I think we would like to come to that meeting. I don't think we, not that you're going to dismiss us, but I think we would like
I
to
just don't want to make everybody have to keep coming back.
know when that, okay, then we
The
can
next
take
meeting
care
is
of it
December
today.
15th.
But what is it that you want to discuss at that meeting, though? I mean, if the
I'm
gentleman didn't
inclined to
come
not change this at all, then,
Right.
to leave it as a two-way street.
I
That's
mean,
my
it's not-
first,
Yeah.
It's not my decision to make, but we mailed a letter to him, he didn't come. They feel that it should be the same, so if that's the intention of all the board members, I don't see why we.
They're
I like her
representing the
idea of
neighborhood.
changing the parking on the east side of the street to, that
The
would actually
only-
eliminate a lot of the
Yeah,
school
the
traffic.
only thing is, I think we'd have to send an email to the principal, because I
Yeah.
think some of the teachers park at the bottom of Reed towards Pierce, because they don't allow the teachers to park in the parking lot.
That's what I'm saying,
So-
her idea is a good idea. Or
The parking
8 to 2
signs
or
where
whatever.
8 to whatever.
Or we just leave it alone.
Or sometimes best leave things as is.
Yeah, the other side of the street, Stetson Street, has those signs, and
It's still crazy no matter which
nobody
way you
pays
look at it.
attention.
No, you're right.
Nobody pays attention.
If we're gonna table it and decide next month that it's gonna stay the same,
Why wait a month for it?
why wait a
Yeah,
month?
I would say approve it.
I
Wait,
say
stay
make a
as
motion
is.
to approve it as is, leave it the way it is.
That's fine, I'm the chairman, but this is a democracy here. Helen, are you, or either of you, do you want to make a motion to leave the street as is?
Leave it as is. That's my motion.
Okay,
Sometimes
I'll
when you-
second that motion.
Okay.
Is anyone opposed to leaving it as is, or does anyone wish to pursue anything else? Okay. Madam Clerk, you want to take a roll call,
Lauren,
please?
get her way.
Leave it as
No,
is.
Helen,
Yes.
Natalie,
Yes.
Sergeant Dolan.
Yes, leave it as it is. Yes, leave it as it is. Okay.
Thank you.
Your street remains untouched.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Stop killing trees, will you?
Jump.
They yell at you, tell them to come
Thank
see
you
us.
so much.
Thank you. Yeah, or you can stay there. All right, so
So,
maybe due to a lack of communication, this is regarding the curb cut on
McGowan.
Eastern Avenue.
the...
No, McGowan
well,
Street.
right.
I know,
The
but we
business's
have to go,
address
yeah.
is Eastern Avenue.
Correct. And they did come, I think it was 3 to 4 years ago already, and we already went through this 4 years ago. And they decided here that we have hardly no parking as it is for when there's snow removal, or there is a lot of cars, there's new neighbors now that do park on that side now. And when there is snow removal, that will take away from 2 spots. And we have 6 cars already that for snow removal park there. And it's coming around that corner, like from Eastern Avenue on McGowan, it's very, very busy. And now that I'm retired, I'm seeing so much more traffic going into their parking lot, like at least 8 to 9 vans a day in the
Now,
morning.
did you do what I asked you to do? Did you send a letter to city council?
No, you didn't tell me to do that.
Didn't you come in with an older woman?
Yes, I did, but you
Okay,
said that I would be getting a letter in the mail.
From city council, not from us. See, we don't mail, what I was explaining to you and the lady that was with you.
That was my mom.
Okay, we don't mail any letters. We only mail it to the person that's requesting the curb cut.
Okay.
So engineering already approved the curb cut. Hold on. So it comes through here to pass through traffic. Now it's gonna go to city council. That's when I told you, you have to write a letter opposing the curb cut to city council. And then what happens is when they get this application, they already know that people are opposing it, so it'll go to an ordinance meeting. You'll be invited, People Incorporated will be invited. So then at that ordinance meeting, People Incorporated will go up and tell them why they want that curb cut, and then you guys will go up and discuss why you feel you shouldn't. And they make the decision at the ordinance meeting,
Okay.
whether to put it or not to put it.
Okay, can I say something? So they don't only need a curb cut, they need a parking lot. Because the traffic that's coming in and out of their parking lot is not manageable for what they want. So doing another curb cut, it's not gonna cut it neither. So what do they really want? They already took Eastern Avenue, and the city gave them a really good cut for them to make a rotary churn. That's not good enough. Like, we have a fence that abuts their property. They already cracked 2 of our posts that my husband had to replace from their vans backing up so far that they cracked our post. So we replaced 2.
Well, like she explained to you, we're here for the physical part of them putting the curb, cutting the curb so that they can enter the driveway.
Yeah.
There's no physical reason why they can't do that, as far as
Okay.
we're concerned. Your complaint or your opposition to that is something that is to be brought up
It's
at
for
either the
parking,
ordinance
yes.
meeting or the city council meeting.
Yeah, because, I mean, how much more do they want? They
And
got it
the
on
reason-
Eastern Avenue already, and now they want it on McGowan, and they're taking
The reason why
2 of
they-
our spots for parking. We have nowhere to park as it is.
Would they allow you guys to park there during a storm or anything
No,
like that?
how are they gonna do that? They need to go in.
The reason why they went to measure, because you have to have the measurements on the application. So it doesn't mean that it's all set and they're gonna cut it. They have to measure to see exactly how much, and then it's put into an application, all the measurements, which Sergeant Dolan read. That's the only reason why you saw
So
the
can you tell me something? Like, where do our neighbors park then? If there's no, like, there's Andrade's.
Like I
There's
said.
and Andrade's right now is parking the whole, I don't know, like, before we always had Andrade's, but we have a new guy now running it, and he takes up the whole road. If you go McGowan, it's all his cars parked all the way now. So, like, a lot of our neighbors that are living there, once they leave for the morning, that's it. He puts all his cars there till 5 o'clock, 5:30,
So you
every
have
day.
all a lot more neighbors that are against this.
Yeah, oh,
And
yes.
you have- the new neighbors, when you get your letter from the city council, that's where you do your duty. Go
Yeah,
down and
if you
oppose it.
abut the
I am the
property,
butter.
then you're gonna get a letter. It should say already if you're on that list here.
Not on the curb cut request.
Yeah, it does. There's a list in the back of the abutters.
See, now, we have people across the street, they're not abutted to him, but it affects them for parking. So do they have to worry about it
What
too?
is your name?
My name's Cynthia Teeves.
What's your address? Oh, yeah, right
20
here, 226 McGowan, you're gonna
Mhm.
get a letter.
Okay.
So you'll get
But
the
I
letter.
still have to.
When you get the letter will tell you, if you oppose, please put something, just follow what the letter says.
Okay.
So you will be
I mean, I
getting-
did this 4 years ago, and we had to, all our neighbors came, and I had to do a petition, and we went through this. I thought it was a done deal, because they got on Eastern
Things
Avenue.
change.
I know, but you know what? That's not even their
Oh, no, I
address.
don't mean.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Their address is on Eastern Avenue, not
When you get the
McGowan.
letter,
So he
You
gets
have your
stuck in the
neighbors
machine.
write a letter too. to the city
See, you know
council.
what? The thing is, all my neighbors in my neighborhood are all in their 80s.
They can still sign your petition, though.
Yes, that's what I'll do.
She already went through that.
It's so
already.
frustrating.
Yeah.
I mean, you know what? It used to be a residential area, and Andres was like very quiet and stuff. Now it's just, his business is on the street, and now, yeah, I'm like, you know, I've been there 51 years. Why should I have to be putting up with this every 4 years?
Right.
It's ridiculous.
Okay.
They don't live here. They don't live there.
Right.
They go home at 2.
All right.
The neighbors
Okay.
together,
Exactly.
get them all together.
Exactly. Thank you.
All right. Good night.
Thanks.
Good night.
Citizens for Citizens. They're moving into the jurisdiction. Talk about traffic. Wait.
Okay, next on the agenda, the rescinded handicap spots. Request from the traffic department to have the following handicap spaces rescinded due to individuals no longer utilizing the space because they have either moved, no longer drive, or have passed away. Walnut Street, Osborne Street, Second Street, Albion Street, Bay Street, Whipple Street, Orange Street, Lapham Street, and Diamond Street. I make a motion that we remove those handicap parking spaces.
And I second it.
Helen seconds it. Anyone opposed to removing those spaces?
Take them out, baby.
Madam Clerk, can you do roll call, please?
Ellen,
Yes.
Natalie,
Yes.
Sergeant Dolan,
Yes.
Tom.
Yes.
I have one
Okay, that
thing-
passes.
I have one thing before we close.
Okay, any miscellaneous things?
Yes, just want everybody to think about your dates for next year, 2022, so we can approve them in December.
Same thing.
Pick the date,
Yeah.
we'll be here.
No, you guys still want to do the
Yep.
third Wednesday
It's
of
the one
every
for the
month?
third or the last. I wish it
Third
would be the last.
Wednesday of the month.
I wish it would be the last, because I always make, the first I have the The last one I have
We
here.
had to change it because there was some other meeting that was going on.
Yeah, we couldn't have it at the last because they had a meeting, I think at 4:30.
So let's leave it.
It's not touched with everything's working, you know?
Okay.
Everything is undone.
All right, then I'll put the dates together and then we'll approve it in December, okay?
Okay. I make a motion that we adjourn the meeting.
I second it.
All in seconds, anyone opposed to adjourning the meeting? Madam Clerk, can you do roll call for adjourning the meeting?
You got it. Helen,
Yes.
Natalie,
Yes.
Sergeant Dolan.
Yes?
Tom.
Yes.
Okay, the meeting is adjourned.
This is one of the shortest meetings.